sometimes failure is good because it makes us better. It makes us realize what not to do. It teaches us good lessons. So, that's another little ramble that I went on instead of saying positive things. But these are positive messages that I believe will help anyone that is trying to get somewhere in life. It's just